Welcome to episode 9 of the 33SC podcast, joined by Jake. How you doing, mate?
Not bad, are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. A big tournament starts tonight. Looking forward to the Euros.
Cannot wait. Come on, England. Get in there. Come on.
Yeah, just quickly touch on that. Obviously, we'll be back in England throughout the tournament. How do you rate our chances?
I think we're going to win it. I'm very optimistic. I've never been this optimistic since Greece won it in 2004. So yeah, bring it home.
Yeah, 100%. And our squad this tournament looks quite decent, doesn't it? Like all these youngsters coming through. Are you most excited to watch?
I think we've got a really good mixture of youth and experience. I know people talk about 96, and I think in 96, the only difference is we had a lot of young players. Obviously, yeah, Gaza, he was just phenomenal, but you had so many young players. But I think with this tournament and previous tournaments, when we had the likes of Rio and John Terry and Lampard, Gerrard, we didn't really have a mixture. But in this squad, we've got a mixture in youth and experience, which is key.
100%. Are you most excited to look for, like, England squad wise?
For Foden, it's got to be Foden, Jadon Sancho, and if I had to pick three, I think Foden, Jadon Sancho, and it's tough. But I think Jadon Sancho, just for I'm not seeing a lot of him, so I'm looking forward to that. Jude Bellingham's another one.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Jordan Henderson, of course. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. Well, I don't know who he is, but I'm looking forward to seeing them guys. But it would be great to see Phil Foden doing it for England.
Yeah, he's come off the back of a great season, won the PFA Young Player of the Year.
Yeah,
just need to turn it on now, don't we? For England.
Yeah, it's no secret that I'm a massive fan of this. We go on about it every single week around 2 weeks. So it's no surprise to say it for me to say Phil Foden.
There's nothing wrong with that though. He's a brilliant player. I'm the same me when it comes to Jack Grealish. I think he'll light up the tournament given a chance.
Yeah, I do. He's a great player, but I think that's the problem. Well, it's a happy problem to have for Gareth Southgate. He's got so many number 10s. It's kind of like in previous years when I look at this squad, especially Euro 2004, when we were so reliant on one player, Rooney. 2002, one player, Beckham. 2006, 6 and 10, maybe not so much, but in them areas, I just think that's where our strength and depth comes across. And we had the golden generation, and they didn't get too far. But I think this generation of footballers is possibly a better team and a better squad than it was in 2006, 2010, because of the morale between the group. It's not a one-man show, even though you could say Harry Kane, but personally, I don't. I think they're more of a team this year, so that's why I think we've got a better chance.
Yeah, and you talk about the golden generation, like 2004 to like 2008, round there. But you look at the way the manager's brought everyone together, the country himself, the way he speaks about his players, manages his players well. I think that's what's been missed, like for the past few times we've gone to tournaments, especially with like Capello, Ericsson, and let's not get started on McLaren.
Yeah, no, I just think with this manager, obviously Gareth Southgate, he's got a really good head on his shoulders, and I think to be fair, when you touched on Capello, I think Capello did a really good job. He just got a little bit unlucky, but it's definitely our best shout in terms of management wise. Gareth Southgate, everyone's going to be wearing a suit and tie and a waistcoat whenever they play. So it's really brought the country together.
Do you think after having a year and wait, it's made the tournament more exciting for people who love football?
Yeah, definitely. But I think as well, let me just one more thing on Gareth Southgate. I remember watching the 2018 World Cup in Malta because I was involved, and I just remember the atmosphere when England played, and it's because of Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate, in my eyes, is brought some unification to England, and it's not about egos, it's about a team. So if we're going to win a tournament, this is the tournament we're going to win, because we've never had a better chance of winning a tournament.
Yeah, you touched on that as well. In terms of development for the 2018 World Cup, how much do you think we've actually come on in terms of a team as a unit?
I think massively. I think when we went out to Croatia, they they outplayed us in midfield. If you remember the game, I think they did. They won the midfield battle. And although watching their friendlies in midweek, beginning of the week, they played really well. But I just think our midfield would have more pace and energy about it than we did 2 years ago, with Sancho and Bellingham, Henderson, people picking passes, Declan Rice, and I think the majority of Jordan Henderson mixed with Declan Rice, mixed with Mason Mount as well, who's phenomenal. Sancho, I think that's really going to come to the fore, and Phil Foden, of course. Yeah. So I just think we've got a really good mix of young players, but with a little bit of experience. And Phil Foden's been to a Champions League final and won the Premier League. He's got bags of experience. He knows, even though he's a young player, he is very experienced. So I think that's all going to come good for us.
Brilliant. And you said about, because we play Croatia on Sunday, who do you think starts alongside Harry Kane out wide?
Tough question.
Do you think it's Rashford and Sterling who get the nod, or do you think Foden will get the nod with Grealish? Or
I think it'll be Grealish. I think Grealish. I think it'll be Grealish and Sterling, because of Raheem Sterling's England form, not so much his City form. He's been great with England. But yeah, I think maybe Sancho as well. So I think I'm not sure about Sterling, but I think Sancho and Grealish will start. To be honest, that's who I'd start. I'd start Sancho and Grealish.
Because it's one of them. I was listening to, I think it was Talksport, and he said that Sterling and Rashford are ever present, but the work they do under Southgate, they always show up. So you can't blame Southgate for always putting his trust in them when they pull on the England shirt. They're different players.
We can't have any excuses this tournament. You can't just say, "Oh God, it's Southgate's fault. He played the wrong formation." You have to be a team. And even if we win, even if we're losing 1-0, even 2-0, we still have to believe, because I believe in Southgate and he knows what he's doing. He's seen them in training day in, day out, and it's very easy to criticise managers, especially international managers. Don't get a lot of time with the squad, but don't criticise them, because he knows what to deal with. He trains with them day in, day out. He's seen Sterling his best, Bellingham, people like that, Kane, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a need to wrap Kane in cotton wool. People keep saying this. If Kane gets injured, it's over. It's not over, because you can play Jack Grealish as a false number 9 if needed to. I think he's, even though you would say he's a midfielder, he has got that trickery in his box. Jude Bellingham,
Rashford up front as well.
Sancho, Calvert-Lewin. So I just think people need to stop banging on about this wrapping Harry Kane in cotton wool, because he's not our only hope.
Yeah, and speaking of the England squad, we've got a great 26-man squad this tournament. Is there anyone that you felt got harshly left out, or do you think the balance is right with the squad going to the tournament?
Balance is right, I think, to be honest. Yeah, I think what I like about Gareth this time is not took anyone that's injured for. Well, he has took people that are injured for, but I just think he's got the balance right. Harry Kane had to go. Jack Grealish, in my eyes, had to go. Sancho as well. So I think he's done a pretty good job since the selection, really.
Yeah, you mentioned there about injury-prone players. There was a lot of debate about Henderson, but he played his 45 minutes and he didn't look out of place. It looked like he was slowly getting back to his usual self. Hopefully, he'll be fit for the first round game against Croatia.
That for me is a massive statement by Gareth Southgate, because, in my opinion, if he doesn't start matches, he's still a presence. Do you know what I mean? So I just think even he couldn't start if he didn't start our first game against Croatia, I still feel like they're an impact. So I just think taking him might be better for the squad than the actual team. So that's the reason why I think he's gone. Yes, he's been injury prone, he's picked up an injury, but he looks okay. But if we're gonna chance him, I'd rather play somebody else in front of him rather than Henderson, and just leave him to be a cheerleader on the bench, because you're going to need leaders, and he's a leader on and off the pitch. So it's very important.
Yeah, 100%. And touching on our group, we've got Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland. Who do you see like as a team with the most threat?
Croatia, to be the honest, because I actually think that they are the dark horses for the tournament. I think they're gonna go far. I think they'll go to semis or final. I think they're that good.
This was one of the upcoming questions there.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you with the Croatia.
I think Croatia are that good. Czech Republic are always going to be dangerous, and England, Scotland, you can never write off. But yeah. I do see this England team finishing first. Even if we don't get a result against Croatia, I still think we'll win the group.
It's one of them as well, or we can't underestimate our opponents, can we? Because we've done that before in previous tournaments where we've gone in thinking we're going to blitz the group, and then we've been knocked out. I think the balance in this tournament's come at the right time, and the fact that we've got a level-headed manager and the players. What I've never seen them want it so badly. Like
I think as well, Jordan. I think with this group of players, you could just see it in the Nations League. It meant so much. The Nations League was a great tournament to warm up for. All right, we didn't win it, but it was a really good stepping stone. So I think that you talk about hunger and desire. The friendlies are friendlies. You know, people say, "Oh yeah, you can never judge anything," but we haven't really lost a friendly in 2 years. Is it 2 in 1 year or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So they still count. You know what I mean? So we've played some really, really tough fixtures as well. So I think that you can't underestimate how well we played. It's just whether we can turn that into a tournament, but I believe we can this year. I really do fancy it.
I think this is going to be the year where we actually put our money where the mouth is and deliver. We said Go on, mate.
Yeah, I don't think. I think semi-finals is a failure. I think anything but the finals is a failure. If we get to the final and don't win it, I think that's a great tournament. And I hate talking like that because it's me being negative, but if we don't get past the semi-finals, we failed. I do genuinely believe that. I think France have got a great group of players, but we're so weak. So,
both joint favourites, aren't we, for the tournament? France.
Yeah. I just look at the other teams around us. I think the three that stand out to me other than England are Italy, Croatia, and Spain. Three. Italy, Croatia, and obviously France, because Italy have just got a resurgence at the moment. They've been amazing. Croatia look dangerous, especially Modric if he's fully fit, and obviously, France are just Mbappe and Griezmann and World Cup winners. So them three teams, Germany for me don't look as threatening. To be totally honest with you.
Oh, I'll take that, mate, because they're in my team's group, Hungary.
My opinion, I don't think Germany look as threatening as the other three I've mentioned, but that's my take on it.
So I'm gonna start the line of predictions now, starting with tonight's game, Turkey, Italy. I've gone for an Italy win 2-1. What about yourself?
I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for a score draw, 1-0.
Oh, he's gone 1-0. And we touched on winners. Who do you think is going to be lifting Euro 2020 next month?
England.
Yeah, I really want to back my own nation. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say England myself. If not, I reckon it'll be us and France in the final.
Yeah, I think that I think it'll either be, honestly, Jordan, I think it'll either be England or Croatia.
Croatia, that's a good shout as well.
I think they looked. I've seen them in friendlies, and obviously you can't really judge by a friendly, but they've got a really good balance within the squad, and obviously Luka Modric. They're just class. They look class.
He's one of them, mini Modric. He's aging. He's things like 35, but he's still one of the best midfielders in the world.
I think he is probably the best midfielder in the world. So I'm gonna say Croatia or England.
Going for best player, who do you think is going to light up the tournament?
Luka Modric.
Modric.
In my opinion, I think Luka Modric, or possibly. Look, I think Lukaku's going to have a really good tournament.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
I'm going to say Modric and Lukaku.
I'm going to go proper safe. I'm going to go Kylian Mbappe. I think he's going to carry on from the 2018 World Cup form and light this one up.
Yeah, I just think with Lukaku, I think he's got to do something. I don't think he will. So I think it'll be him or Modric?
Yeah, he's coming into my next prediction now. Who do you think is going to be winning the Golden Boot?
Lukaku.
Yeah, I'd have
Yeah, I
Lukaku
do
down
think
myself.
Lukaku.
Yeah,
I think he's got a really, really, really good midfield behind him. Carrasco, Tielemans.
De Bruyne,
So I
if
think
he's
he's
fit.
got a look if he's fit. So I just think he's got so many good players around him, and he is a goal scorer. He's world class for his country. He's world class. So I think he's going to be Golden Boot winner.
Yeah, if it's not Lukaku, I can see people like Griezmann. Thomas Muller always turns up in tournaments for a weird reason. He's always in the Golden Boot category. Got Mbappe, but I think Lukaku stands out for me. He's been electric for Inter Milan. It's nice to see him back to his ultimate best.
Yeah, it really is good to see him back at his best. He's had a couple of injuries and a couple of transfers that have gone against him in some ways for United and everything into Milan. So I really feel for Lukaku. He's still a young player. People forget that he's still a young player. So he's got everything about him. He's strong. He's good in the air. Good with both feet. He can finish. So yeah, I think he's really good. He reminds me. I think he'll be something like a Miroslav Klose.
Yeah,
where he will just score a ridiculous number of goals for Belgium. So yeah, I think Lukaku will be a really good big threat.
Who would you say is going to be a one to watch? Like, which player do you think is going to not going to be like the best player, but the one you think you'll just.
The one I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking forward to watching. It has to be Modric. I just love the guy. He floats around the midfielder. For me, he's the best midfielder in the world. So it has to be Modric.
Yeah, top midfielder. I'm looking forward to seeing Jack Grealish, man. I really hope he can turn this form into international tournament form for us. With him unfolding like naughty in it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see Jack Grealish up there as well because he can do things with the ball that flair players. You want players that can go past people, and England have a great team and they're very good with the ball, but we don't really have too many people that can go past a player and beat a player, drop a shoulder, turn. Jack Grealish has got absolutely everything. Sancho's the same, but I just think Jack Grealish has got absolutely everything.
As well, we've got Bellingham as well. He looks a real player, and he's only 17, isn't he?
Yeah, I've got to say with Jude Bellingham, I've not seen a lot of him, so I can't really judge. But Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, Harry Kane, if he can start scoring goals, even Calvert-Lewin, he's a great finisher. You know what I mean? He's got that in his locker. So yeah, I think that's really going to come to the fore.
And we touched on your dark horse for you're back in Croatia, right? You for your dark horses.
Yeah. Well, for reasons I've just said about Modric and Kovacic, I think they've got a really good squad. They play well in big tournaments. They actually do. If you look back in history, so I'm not going to favour them because I'm a dark horse, but I'd watch out for Croatia. Worth a bet if you're a betting guy.
Yeah, I'm going to say Belgium. If there's any time a golden generation is going to win it from, it's got to be this year. But it's one of them. They've got Lukaku, Hazard. Hazard's had a tough season. I'm on about Aiden, that is. Foden's come to it's a weird situation when he's been the better of the two. Unfortunately, De Bruyne took a nasty injury in Champions League, but I still think the quality and the depth and quality, like Tielemans, Carrasco, not to mention the defence, that's solid.
Definitely. And Axel Witsel as well.
Axel Witsel, what a top player.
Yeah, so they've got a really good balance and obviously a great goalkeeper. So, yeah.
Here's one I want to get your thoughts on as well. It's Group F's a group of death, isn't it? Who do you think is going to be coming through that out of France, Germany, Portugal and Hungary?
France, and for your sake, I hope Hungary.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, I'm going to say France and Portugal.
If we can finish third,
I actually think France. I actually think Portugal will win the group.
It's one of them as well. You was touching on Germany, but I think if there's a team where you can actually get points off, I think it's them. North Macedonia shocked them in that qualifying, got a 2-1 win. They are beatable.
Yeah, I do. I think this is the weakest Germany side I've seen in a long time. when I compare them to other teams around them, like France, even Italy, Spain, ourselves, and Belgium, obviously a massive threat. So I think this might not be a great tournament for Germany, hopefully. But yeah, I think possibly, yeah.
It's one, and now we've said this about them, they'll go on and do well, won't they?
Yeah,
It's
they'll
always the way.
probably win the tournament now, won't
Yeah, we'll look back on this and think, oh, what a pair of clowns.
they? Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to tonight, the start of it. And I just thought we've got a fun tournament ahead. We're celebrating something in July instead of crying our eyes out like usual.
I've actually got a really good feeling about this tournament, and I probably say this every 4 years or every 2 years.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely believe that if we don't win this tournament or do well, we never will win the tournament. So that's my opinion anyway.
It's like that. We hate all this talk about it's coming on, but it actually is coming home, isn't it?
I actually think it is, to be honest. Come on, England.
Yeah, come on, England. And that's the end of the 33SC podcast. Thank you for Jake for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure, mate.
And we'll catch you next episode.